A ball touches a hand for 1/10 of a second. The whole stadium loses its mind. Why? Because football has rules that look simple but trip up millions of new fans every single year. By the end of this video, you'll understand every major rule in football, and you'll never feel lost watching a match again. Let's start with the basics. 2 teams, 11 players each, 1 ball. The goal is simple. Get the ball into the other team's net more times than they get it into yours. 90 minutes. Whoever scores more, wins. That's it. That's the whole sport in one sentence. But here's where it gets interesting. Unlike American sports, the clock never stops. No timeouts, no commercial breaks mid-play. The referee just keeps a mental note of time lost and adds it back at the end. That's why you'll hear commentators yell stoppage time near the end of a match. It's extra minutes tacked on, and nobody outside the referee knows exactly how much until it's announced. Now let's talk about the rule that confuses more Americans than any other: offside. Here's the simple version. You can't just stand next to the opponent's goal waiting for a pass. When the ball is played to you, there need to be at least 2 opposing players between you and the goal line, and one of those is usually the goalkeeper. If you're ahead of the last defender when the ball is played, you're offside. Play stops. No goal. Why does this rule even exist? Because without it, attackers would just camp out next to the goalkeeper all game. Offside forces teams to actually build attacks instead of cherry-picking easy goals. Think of it like this. Imagine in basketball if a player could just stand under the opponent's hoop the entire game waiting for a long pass. That's exactly what offside prevents in football. Next up, fouls and cards. This is where football gets its drama. A foul happens when a player commits an unfair challenge, tripping, pushing, or making dangerous contact with an opponent. When that happens, the referee can show a yellow card as a warning. 2 yellow cards in one match equals an automatic red card, which means you're sent off, and your team plays the rest of the game with 10 players instead of 11. A direct red card is even worse. 1 serious foul and like a dangerous tackle, and you're out immediately. No second chances. Here's a stat that surprises people. A team playing with 10 men loses far more often than you'd expect. Studies on professional football show that a red card before halftime drops a team's win probability by more than 30%. One bad decision can swing an entire match. Now, free kicks and penalties. When a foul happens, the fouled team gets a free kick from where the foul occurred. If it's close enough to goal, that single kick can become a direct shot at the net, with a wall of defenders desperately trying to block it. But if the foul happens inside the penalty box, that big rectangle in front of each goal, it's even more serious. That's a penalty kick. 1 attacker, 1 goalkeeper, 12 yards out. No defenders in between. Penalties are scored roughly 75% of the time at the professional level. That means 1 in every 4 still gets missed or saved, which is exactly why penalty shootouts in the World Cup feel like pure chaos. The pressure completely changes the math. Let's talk about handball, because this rule has changed more than almost any other in football history. The basic idea: outfield players can't deliberately use their hands or arms to control the ball. Only the goalkeeper can do that, and only inside their own penalty box. But here's the twist that confuses everyone. It's not always about whether the ball touched the hand. It's about whether the hand was in a position to score deliberately, or whether the arm made the body unnaturally bigger. That's why you'll sometimes see a ball clip a player's arm and nothing happens, but a near-identical situation gets called a foul a few minutes later. It genuinely frustrates fans, players, and even referees. Now, the smaller rules that keep the game moving. When the ball goes out over the sideline, it's a throw-in. Whichever team didn't touch it last gets to throw it back in, using both hands, feet on the ground. When the ball goes out over the goal line off an attacker, it's a goal kick. The defending goalkeeper restarts play. When it goes out off a defender, it's a corner kick, giving the attacking team a set-piece chance right from the corner flag. These might sound minor, but corners alone account for a significant share of goals scored at major tournaments. In fact, set pieces, corners, free kicks, throw-ins, make up close to 1/3 of all goals in top-level football. That's a much bigger chunk of scoring than most casual fans ever realize. So here's the truth about football's rules. They look complicated from the outside, but every single one exists for the same reason: to keep the game fair, fast, and exciting. Offside stops cheap goals. Cards punish dangerous play. Penalties create high-stakes moments. Handball protects fair competition. And the small restarts, Throw-ins, corners, goal kicks keep the match flowing without long stoppages. Once you understand these rules, watching football stops feeling confusing and starts feeling like watching a chess match at full speed. So next time someone yells at the TV over an offside call, you'll know exactly why. And that's the difference between watching football and actually understanding it. If this helped things click for you, subscribe.